Hello all and welcome back to another wonderful video. Today I'm here on this very barren land because today we have ourselves another challenge, and the challenge is very simple. All I have to do is use exactly 64 items, no more, no less, and that is the 64 item challenge. Now I can use as many walls as I want, I can do whatever I want to the floor and things like that, but I can only have 64 and I have to have exactly 64. I don't know what I'm gonna build or what I'm gonna do with this, but hey, we're just gonna wing it. But as you can see, I currently have 0 of 1600 objects placed. At the end, that should say 64 of 1600. And let's get into our challenge. I'm not sure what to do. I wanna like fully on challenge this and try to build as much as possible. So I think I'm gonna try and do like a small town of some kind, and we'll have like a road or something like this that kind of just goes or whatever, and then maybe some alleyways or something, like an alleyway in between two buildings or something, and we'll do something a bit like that and see what happens. I don't really know how I'm gonna manage to make this happen, but hey, it's gonna work out somehow. This whole thing is really meant to just show that, you know, even you can make something good with very minimal amount of items and stuff like that. Like, I don't have that many items that I can place. I can only place 64. I promise you this, by the end, this is actually going to blow your mind at how good this is. At least I hope it is. I think this first building should possibly be some sort of cafe or building or whatever like that. So starting off, our first item that we're placing down is a small round table. We're going to place another small round table. I can change these out if I want to. I'm just commentating on the fact that these are the first items that I'm placing. I gotta be careful not to go over it, because I didn't say this earlier, but if I go over 64 objects, I also fail the challenge. So I gotta keep my eye on that. So at any point, if I go over it, then I also fail the challenge. So I gotta make sure I'm super careful about that and keep an eye on it. There's no way I'm actually gonna be able to do this, right? The absolute scale of like what I'm putting together, I don't see this ending well at all, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I'm making so many buildings and so much space that, like, I feel like we're gonna end up in a situation where I'm gonna be struggling so much for items. But I guess I can technically just delete stuff, so it's fine. But I don't know, right now I'm just kind of stalling by shaping this island up a little bit. There's 63. And finally, for 64, we have this object, that object, what object? This object, that works. 64th object, here we go. Boom, 64 objects, okay. So after about 20 to 30 minutes later, this is what I have. I'm gonna zoom out here so you can see the whole thing. This is what we have after that 30 minutes. And yes, we did get exactly 64 objects. There was an update not too long ago where the boat no longer counts towards your object limit, which I'm so happy for. But obviously the boat wouldn't have counted anyway. But as you can see, we have a very small, super small town thing going on here. So let's go ahead and first prove that I have gotten exactly 64 objects. So I can hit tab here, and if you see down here in the bottom right, I've placed 64 out of 1,600 objects. That's right, I have completed this challenge. I never went over once, and well, I'm not going to say I never went under once, because technically I was always under up until then. But anyway, that is what we have so far. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of a tour. So obviously, I started with these two buildings here. You probably saw that in the time-lapse, or even before the time-lapse. I don't know. Ooh, that's pretty cool. But I wanted to do a cafe because I knew that would cost a lot of objects. And every town has to have some kind of cafe or restaurant or something like that, and this is the only one in town. And you can only get bananas, mangoes, and coconuts. That's all you can get. And you can also get, I guess, a sandwich, because I don't know where the sandwich is. Maybe it's in the fridge. I don't know. But yeah, it's very basic. Basically nothing to it, because, like, I mean, I had to keep it short and small because of the object limit. I had my alleyway here that just goes into a dead end with like a dumpster, I guess is what you could call this, like a things to put trash in. I don't know. And this one, it took me a long time to figure out what to do with this building, but I decided I wanted to do a gardening shop because I did this area down here in the middle, and I was like, oh, I need some nature and stuff down here in the middle, and I was like, okay, I'll do like a gardening shop or something. So that's what I did here, and the baskets came last, or next to last, because I was like, oh, well, maybe that makes sense to have like baskets in a gardening shop. I don't know. But I think this doesn't look too bad, honestly. I could probably replace these fire lanterns with something, but I wanted some source of light inside each building, so I just threw those in there. We have some street lights. Those took up object space that I didn't want to take up, but I have a little house here. It's kind of lovely. You can sit right here and stare at the wall. Everyone loves staring at the wall. Don't you love staring at the wall? It's my favorite pastime, really. And then we have a fridge, possibly. I don't know. What are they keeping in there? I don't know. A bed, obviously. It's very basic. Very, very, very simple. I kind of took a risk putting the window there, but I mean, I could delete objects, so that's not too big of a risk. But yeah, that's that building. And if we carry on around here and go around, we have another house. This one's even more basic and even less of a spectacle. It's just got a bed. You can literally like be sleeping and then just wake up and then just immediately get yourself a banana or something. I don't know. They also have a rug in the middle because it was a super empty space and I didn't know what to do to fix that. So it just a big rug. And that's basically it. This was an extremely difficult challenge because every single time I was about to place an object, I was like, okay, I know I can delete the object. I know I can move the object, but am I about to pass 64 and what do I actually need to put down to make it look good and everything like that? Because I wanted it to look good but also be only 64 objects. So there you have it. That's the 64 object limit challenge. The 64 limit challenge is what we're going to call it, the 64 limit challenge. I hope you enjoyed. I would sure as heck love to see what you guys do with the 64 limit challenge. So go ahead and try that yourselves. Maybe I'll do like a review of some of your 64 limit challenge builds or something like that. You can put them on the Ponytown subreddit. I'll see them eventually. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and doing all those wonderful things like that. Because when you do wonderful things like that, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to become wonderful yourself. And I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.